Hello, Austria Elizabeth here with Apple Blossom Dreams to show you how to create the Metamorphosis 1 Caterpillar Play Pad. And it is done in Tunisian crochet, and this will be the first step. So we are going to create a rectangle with Tunisian crochet. You probably want a pretty long end to begin with, the slip stitch. And this rectangle is going to be 15 stitches across and 15 rows. So let's chain 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now you will pull up a loop in every one of the chains across for a total of 15 loops. So this is your first loop. Then your first stitch is right here. It's the chain, not this one, the one right next to it. Insert your hook and pull up a loop, and do that along each chain to the end. This is a size 4mm hook, but also if you have a 3.75, that works as well. So you should have 15 loops on your hook. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. And this will be the same pattern throughout the entire blanket except for the border. And when you do purchase or grab a hook, just make sure that you have one that's kind of flat here. You don't need the special Tunisian crochet hook because they get kind of long and heavy on the end, but anything that sort of is too big right there might mess with the length of your stitches. Let's see how that just slips right over there. So yarn over and go through your first loop. Then yarn over and go through 2 loops. Yarn over, 2 loops, and do this to the end. And it'll create these little squares here with lines through them. So see how that's almost like a little square, and then this a line here. And those are the stitches we're going to work into going the other direction from right to left. So we grab our first one here, not this one because that's your end piece that you've already got ended your previous row with. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. And we'll do this in each one of those lines to the end. Once again, we should have 15 loops on the hook. Your last one is right there at the very edge. Three, 6, 9, 12, 15. And then once again, when you're working from left to right, you'll yarn over and go through your first loop, and then yarn over and go through 2 loops all the way to the end. And you'll just keep repeating this pattern until you have 15 rows. And once you have 15 rows going across, you will change colors. So I've made one here with the 15 rows to show you how to change colors. On your last row, you leave your last 2 loops on your hook. And you cut your yarn just a little bit, about just a few inches wider than the width of your rectangle. So see how that's as wide as a rectangle, and then just a little bit longer, because we're going to be weaving that end in as we change colors. So grab another color here. For your next color, you're going to take a pretty long end, at least 12 inches, and fold it in half this way so the end is towards your left, because we're going to be weaving this in with that other shorter end. So you just take that loop and pull it through the 2 loops on your hook. And if they get big, you just pull on the end. So that shorter end and the longer end will be woven in as we crochet along this side. So there's that first line, and your 2 ends are on top of your working yarn, and you just yarn over and pull through that stitch. Then your next one, leave the yarn under your work and pull through. The next one, your yarn over. You're not doing anything but just placing it over and under. You're not pulling any of these yarns through anywhere. You're just weaving them in as you go. So the next one was under and then over. If you accidentally do 2 overs and 2 unders, that's okay. It won't matter. It just needs to get woven into the other end. So that one is under. This one is over. So the next one is under, and the next one is over. Next one is under. The next one is over, then under, and the last one, that line right there on the end, can be over or under, whichever one you end up with. So let's make sure we have 15 stitches again. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So that's great. And then we should have the color that we started with, a short end for that one, and then a longer end of the new color. The reason being is this shorter end can either be tucked inside or woven in. And because it's pretty secure now that it's been woven in here, but I like to tie it to this longer one and then weave it in just for extra added security. And then your longer one will be used to sew the side together. And you'll see kind of that'll make more sense in the next step, or the next couple of steps. So this one might have been a little bit too short. I probably should have gone maybe 16 inches just to make sure that I have enough yarn, because we'll be sewing along the edge. Not this one, but it'll be this edge when we build this next block of color. So now with your working yarn, just leave your ends alone now. And with your working yarn, we'll just complete this first row of the color change, just like we did before. Yarn over, go through the first one, yarn over, go through the next 2. and the next 2 till the end. So the first one is just, you go through 1 and then the rest 2. Oops, that was 3. Let me fix it. There we go. So now you have your first row of your color change. I will just quickly crochet another one because we're going to want 15 of these just to kind of give you another review of it. So just each line or stitch, however you would like to refer to it, you're just going in sideways, yarn over, pull up a loop. This is just so simple, and I love the way it makes these little squares, and it just is a nice solid crochet. Yarn split on that last one. And then when we work left to right, yarn over, go through the first loop, yarn over 2 loops, yarn over 2 loops, yarn over 2 to the end. And that completes the second row of your second color. Looks like this on the back. You'll have this colored bumps on the back, and those are going to be important because we're going to crochet into those when we flip the work around to make the back side. So however many colors you have chosen, just continue 15 rows, change a color, 15 rows, change a color until you get to your last color. And when you get to your last color, so this was my second to last color, and my last color was this one, you will crochet 30 rows because this will flip over for the back and the front. And then in the next video, I will show you how to join this to this color and then crochet this color and join it to here to make those little pockets. So I will be back soon.